I'm Emily Carter, born and raised in Portland, Oregon, a place where it rains more than the sun shines, and the silence sometimes feels louder than anywhere else in America. When I was a kid, my mom would sit me by the window and say, "Draw, Emily. Just draw whatever's in your heart." She bought me this little pink sketchbook, and honestly, that thing became my whole world. But as I grew up, that world slowly disappeared, buried under the pressure of real life. In high school, everyone kept asking, "What college are you going to? What major? You need something practical, like business or IT." And just like that, I shut myself down. I enrolled in business management at a pretty average college. Not because I loved it, but because I thought I had to. For years of classes, projects, and a part-time job at a coffee shop. But something was always missing. There was this quiet emptiness inside me that no grade, no paycheck could fill. Then one rainy night, the power went out. My phone died. Bored out of my mind, I opened an old drawer, and there it was. That pink sketchbook. Inside, a drawing of a girl sitting by the window. Rain. Silence. It felt like I was looking straight at myself. I don't even know why, but that night I stayed up drawing until the sun came up. Something had reignited. After that, I started sketching every night. Secretly. Just for me. Until one day, a friend saw my stuff and said, "Emily, why don't you post your art on Etsy or Instagram? Who knows, maybe someone like it." I laughed, but I gave it a shot. First just a few likes. Then a comment. "This painting hit me so hard. Thank you." Then my first order. Then my second. Then a girl from New York messaged me. "Can I hang your painting in our cafe?" Me? A random girl from Portland? In a New York cafe? That's when I realized this isn't just art. It's a language. A way to connect. And when you speak with color, people actually listen. But it wasn't all smooth. My dad kept saying, "Emily, this isn't a real job. Get something stable." Even when I had my first small gallery show in Seattle, he didn't come. But my mom did. She stood there with tears in her eyes and said, "I knew you'd come back to that little pink book one day." So where am I now? I live in a tiny apartment in Brooklyn. The walls are covered in paint. I get orders from all over the country. A gallery in Paris even reached out about a collaboration. Is my income always steady? No. But my heart? It's full. You want to know what happened with the Paris gallery? Or if my dad ever came around and believed in me? Let me tell you. When I saw the email from the Paris gallery, I read it at least 5 times. I couldn't believe it. A respected gallery that showcases young artists across Europe said they found my style unique and invited me to be part of their group exhibition. The first thing that popped into my head? I don't even have a passport. That night I stayed up late. I checked out their website, scrolled through the artists they worked with before. All of them were so polished, so professional. I felt small. Like a girl who accidentally got invited to some fancy party. But then I saw this one sentence on their homepage. "We're not looking for perfect resumes. We're looking for unique voices." And I swear it felt like that sentence was written just for me. A month later, with a suitcase full of paintings, I left the US for the very first time. Paris. The dream city I'd only ever seen in books and movies. The gallery felt like another planet. Artists from the Netherlands, France, Korea, Argentina. And then me, Emily from Portland. People looked at me, not with judgment but with curiosity, like they were genuinely wondering what this American girl had brought with her. On opening night, people started gathering around my painting, The Windowless House. And they asked questions. They felt something. One older French woman with a thick accent stood there and said, "It reminds me of how I felt during the lockdown." I cried a little looking at this. And in that moment, all the years I thought I was wasting suddenly felt like they had led me right here. Right to this golden point. The show went well. I sold several pieces, one to a collector in Germany. Then came an email from a French fashion label. They wanted to print my artwork on their fabric for their next collection. But I came back to the States with a mind full of questions. My dad still wasn't talking to me much. He still believed being an artist meant being unstable. During dinner one night, he looked up and said, "Real success is when you can stand on your own, without leaning on people's emotions." I didn't say anything. Just looked at him. But a few weeks later, when he saw my tax return and realized I'd earned more this year than he did, he went silent. That night, for the first time ever, he said, "You know, maybe I was wrong. Maybe this path really is yours." I replayed that sentence in my head 1,000 times. Not because of the money, but because of the validation. Something I'd been chasing for years. So where am I now? I've got a little studio in Brooklyn. Every morning I wake up with hot coffee and a blank canvas. And every night, I fall asleep reading messages from people all over the world who found something in my work that made them feel less alone. I still get scared. I still doubt myself sometimes. But I'm no longer afraid of my own voice. And that little pink sketchbook? It's still here, tucked on the shelf in my studio. A reminder of the girl who used to draw just to remember who she was.